Howdy y'all, it's Davey Blue Jay here to talk to you about what's on my mind. First things first, tea in my favorite mug. I like the yogi teas. I'm drinking this like lavender honey tea with oat milk and some more honey in it. And I love drinking tea. I used to be a big stoner. I used to smoke a lot of marijuana, and when I decided to go clean completely and like sober and not engage in drinking or smoking or any other substances, there's some things like some healthy alternatives that I kind of switched to, like consuming a lot, like tea, which I already love drinking tea, but I drink tea, like herbal teas, a lot, and I love it. And I love flowers. You'll see that I wear lots of flower prints. I worked at a couple apothecaries in the past, and studied herbs and flowers, and just looking at flowers, connecting with that flower energy is something else. So I love mushrooms, love flowers. Those are symbols I use a lot, like in my branding and in my in my life, symbols I connect with. So today I am not feeling like 100%. Like, I had a headache earlier today, and I decided to still make this video because the thing is that I'm human, and I post a lot of videos, especially if you follow like my TikTok and YouTube. You can check out my stuff there, and be sure to subscribe, by the way, to this channel if you're digging my content, and like the videos. So here's the thing. In my other content, I'm often like really full energetically. If you've ever heard of this analogy of your cup being full. So like if my energy level is totally full, then I just seem really like happy and bright, right? But today, I've had a really wonderful week. And today I have needed to just rest, and I've had a headache, so I've just been napping. And I'm like, you know what? I want to make this video to show people just other colors of myself, because the thing is that I'm human, and as you may know, and I'm open about it, I'm a wizard. I practice magic. I'm a spiritual practitioner, and I see life as really magical. And I invite in like magical experiences and synchronicity and spiritual experiences, and I'm all about it, and I care to spread as much love as I can, and wisdom as I can too, with what I've learned. And what I've learned with maintaining my energy, and just words of wisdom I've learned from my past. And I'm also human, and I'm not perfect. And so I don't by any means, while I post a lot of videos where I'm super happy and I'm having fun and I'm spreading wisdom confidently, I by no means am trying to give off the message that that I'm perfect, or that I think I'm perfect, or or for other people to you don't need to get that impression, for other people to get that impression. I'm a human, and I experience humanness all the time. And so I want to talk to y'all about that today. Just in terms of humanness, I feel like, at least I had a lot of letting go of shame around my humanness, and still experience some of that, And the thing is that we don't need to be perfect. And I hope this just I hope we can just feel relief in that, because we aren't here to be perfect. I feel that we're here to experience life, and there's many different colors and temperatures, and different ways that looks like. so many different emotions on the human experience, and I by no means have everything figured out. I am very passionate to help people in the ways that I have, learned to help myself and learn to navigate life with more ease and with less suffering and with more and through a spiritual lens. So I'm very happy and eager to share that with people who are open to it and who are interested, with people who would like to learn. And that's why, I'm a wellness instructor. I teach at a rehab center. I teach at a retreat center in Joshua Tree. And I do privates as well. If you're interested, check out my website, davyBlueJ.com. And also, so I have a certain level of confidence, and also I don't have everything figured out. And for me, it's very important to remember that, to remember that I don't have everything figured out. And the more that I'm able to see life, so here's something that really resonates with me that I'd like to share with you. The more that I'm really able to see life as a mirror, and that every experience is one that I can learn from, and every person is one that I can learn from, the more I know that I am doing my best to learn from each moment, or the more that I'm able to be humbled in that way, and I'm able to have an open mind and an open heart. Okay? If you ever feel like you're in this place where, you have a lot of anger towards someone and you're just desperately trying to prove that like they're wrong, or you just like, you feel like you have an enemy, and that you're trying to make them out to be like wrong or bad, or kind of, there's this kind of demonizing energy to that, okay? It might serve you to take a step back and just feel into what emotion is going on in your own privacy, in your own space, in your own peace of mind, somewhere you feel safe, to just feel into, asking yourself why you feel that way. Because often the thing is that what that can do is, when you really get sucked into a situation like that, is it can just really cloud up your judgment, but also your peace of mind. Okay, and that's a lot of what I'm about, and what I'm here to share is how to cultivate peace of mind so that you can live with more ease, more clarity, and less drama. Because the thing is that when you are in a place, just as a human, of just getting sucked into drama left and right, it takes away to the direction that you could be going, that is just full of more happiness, more love, and less internal chaos and turmoil. So ultimately, when you are able to prioritize you and prioritize the practices that make you happy in life, you can come from a more calm and loving place. Okay? So I've definitely learned that lesson in some harsh ways in the past, with getting into drama and just getting sucked into it. And in hindsight, I've realized my accountability in that, because I was agreeing to it. I was kind of lost. I was kind of trying to have party fun, right? Party fun where you kind of with substances, with whatever it is, where you just kind of lose your mind. And I'm here to tell you, if you think that's the only way you can have fun, it's not true. There's something to think about, because often that kind of lifestyle, maybe you've experienced it, it can just get you in trouble, and it can just cause a lot of unnecessary inner heart turmoil and heartbreak and heartache that isn't necessary, So if you are someone who feels like you experience that a lot, it's just something to think about and feel into with how you're doing, because taking care of yourself is essential to mental health, and it's essential to this feeling of inner peace I'm talking about. Okay? And there is an amount of accountability. There's an amount of willingness to do the work, if you will, go to therapy, have your mindfulness, your spiritual practices, journal how you're feeling, take time for you. And it makes the world of a difference when you're prioritizing yourself. And that often does involve saying no. And there can be a transitionary period where you're really saying no a lot to other things to shift your reality. And here's the thing, like I mentioned, everybody's human, okay? Everybody. I'm human. I just had the honor of having Thanksgiving dinner with a group of touring monks, Tibetan monks, and they're all human too. They're humans who spiritually practice and have an identity with their sacred culture, and they're human. And so in being human, there's still going to be times when you feel, the word is, when unregulated. So there's times when you feel regulated, when you're regulated, and that's when, for instance, your central nervous system is calm. You're coming from just this place that's very calm. And tools to achieve that are practices that I'm talking about with you to calm your central nervous system, like meditation and therapy, yoga, working out, spirit, like you may have heard of like somatic yoga, somatic practices that can help you feel calm. But there's still going to be times when you feel unregulated. For instance, like today I had a headache. I'm not like my peak Zen Davey, right? I'm glad I can still laugh. Oh, I just spilled some tea on myself. You see stuff like this, right? This is a good example. Goddess is giving me a good example to show y'all right now, with the beautiful sun tucking right beneath the hills over there. So the thing is, like, there's times where we're still human, and there's other things that we need to do to take care of ourselves to feel our best more often, such as eat healthily, care about what we're putting in our body, and also get enough sleep. That's another really important thing. 8 hours for most people. So there's things that, for instance, to talk more on regulation, self-regulation, if you don't get enough sleep, think about when, you woke up to go to the airport at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. maybe, and you just were like, oh, okay, let's do this, and you like fall asleep later again, and it's like, you're not regulated, because you didn't get enough sleep. Alright, so there's instances like that. So, you ever notice a peak day of yours? Have you ever had a really good day, and you can think back to it right now, and you got enough sleep, you were full, like you ate enough, and you ate, relatively well, and perhaps you just did things that were fun, and maybe there was some element of like exercise or like kind of tiring yourself out in there with enough sleep. You like tire yourself out. Your central nervous system probably loved that. Your nervous system probably freaking loved that. So anyway, we're all human. There's days where we aren't super regulated. We don't feel our peak best, But what we can do is we can still try our best. There's this people like in the Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, one of the agreements is always do your best, and then it says that under that, your best will vary by day to day, so always try your best, right? Always try your best. But there are days when your best feels like, for me, I'm pretty tired today and I had that headache. Let's say my best was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know exactly how to rate it, but let's just say it's like I could say my best was 60% today, or like 50%. Have compassion for yourself. We're human, like I mentioned, I do, I care about my energetic impact, and I treat myself and I see myself highly. I treat myself well and I see myself highly. I am a rock star. I know myself as a wizard and a rock star. I am a rock star and a wizard. And I'm a human, and I'm not perfect, and I'm just trying my best. And so today I'm just going to be really compassionate with myself in that. I am learning. I care to treat others well and to keep learning how to treat others with more respect. And I'm working on myself. And I'm learning. So, anyway, have compassion for yourself. No one said you had to be perfect. And if they did, they're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong, man. Right. Well, I think I'm going to go take a bath. Just have a chill Sunday evening. Post-Thanksgiving, post-holidays. And here's a reminder to be grateful for your family and who you got every day, not just on Thanksgiving. Let's roll that out onward. Not just on a nationally sanctioned holiday, which is what it is, Always practice that gratitude. You can't go wrong if you choose to practice more gratitude. Just think of things you're grateful for. There's nothing wrong with that. All right. Have a beautiful evening, y'all. If you stuck around this long, that's awesome. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring to learn more about this stuff and taking care of yourself. And like I mentioned, subscribe for more.